Hi everyone, this is Angelina and I would like to warmly welcome and thank you for joining us here today for the Smada World webinar. This webinar today is dedicated to one topic only, that being information we have for you around the NLA branded email. We're going to go into a little bit more in depth on the program that we have available for you, so please listen closely. And this is for the master email accounts only. We're not dealing with the NLA accounts that you might want. And Noel will explain. Any questions in this webinar have to be related to the email program. No other questions will be answered today. We'll announce in the Skype rooms when we will be having another webinar for the updates and progress reports regarding our other endeavors. Now, without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Noel Adams, our CEO and leader of the Smada team and founder of Next Level Africa. Welcome to the mic, Noel.
Welcome to this webinar. Look, one of the reasons, I'll just elaborate on what Angelina was saying there, one of the reasons we're trying to focus on the one topic is because we really have a few balls in the air, if you like, and we don't want to confuse people. So focusing on the one topic, because this recording goes out to quite a few people and it can be information overload if we start with other stuff out there. And the other reason we're separating the emails from Next Level Africa, and this is because they're two slightly different parts of the puzzle that we're doing, and this is a standalone program that we really have developed over the time that we've been with it, and so hopefully we've got a little bit more. Well, we have got a little bit more information going on, and so with that, look, I'll get started on this so that we can have a little bit of a better understanding on the email program. It's been hugely successful, and we just want to make sure that members understand it. There's still a little bit of confusion there with it, but what it is, it just speaks for itself. There is that we've come up with an idea of the email plus income. Could be email plus anything, but it's really income that we look at this, and that's where it all started. And as you probably well know, it did start from trying to come up with a solution to help members with the dot system in Google, and it's just simply grown from that. Now, the Next Level Africa brand, and this is what this is partly about, is really getting our brand name out there. Using our own branded email system allows us to promote the brand, and with 50,000 accounts in Next Level Africa will give us extreme exposure. We'll be promoting our brand on many fronts, one being the e-commerce platform, which is well on the way now. The banks have taken over that, and at any day now we're going to see the e-commerce. So we're going to be able to promote this brand through many fronts. Now, the income potential on our brand, well, the income potential from our brand is unlimited. NLA already have our own covered on several frontages, and we have our own cryptocurrency. NLA has a crowdfunding platform and our own exchange. Now, we really have got the whole area there pretty much tied up. And we do, I know it mightn't look like we get a lot of support from the banks, but we do. And just to indicate with our branding on things there and just things that are happening, but you may not think that they're doing anything in the exchange to do with the low price coins, but they certainly are. There's a process they've got to go through to do this, and there's all to do with security and lots of other things. But the original people that were taken down, they were banned, and they're continuing to ban anyone that puts up cheaper coins. So don't worry, they're right onto it, and once they ban enough people, it will completely stop. Now, with this program, you can have unlimited email addresses. You can create private password protected email addresses, and under the branding of a username at Next Level Africa. Look, we've had quite a few people use a little bit of imagination on this, and some of the names that are coming through there are quite humorous, and some of them quite serious. So one of the things out there is that if anybody's thinking about a name, it's certainly the time to do it while we're still fresh with the amount of people we've got, because once it gets going, I can see already now we're having to tell people that certain names are not available, and so it's just really an area that moving quickly on something like this is obviously in the best interest. Now, there's unlimited email storage, total storage space allocated across our global mail network utilising SSD technology, solid state drive, to ensure the fastest processing speed for emails. There's spam and virus protection. Your email is scanned for spam and viruses at the point of entry into our network. With the latest technology, we can reduce the chance of spam and viruses making it to your inbox. With the likes of free emails such as, look, we all know them, Google and Yahoo and Hotmail, apart from them not being totally secure, you've also got advertising coming through there, and so they're really a different deal out there promoting that particular company's business in the way of Google, etc. And Google will not pay you 1 cent for promoting their name. So at least with this, you can be paid for promoting the name, hence the email plus income. Now look, there's wonderful tech support. I've got my text checking on a few things now. We have actually started to overload their system. They realise we're quite serious with the amount of emails we've been setting up. So we have been giving them little things to do that they haven't had in the past. So it's always good when you get into volume with anything at all out there. You can start to pick certain things that are not quite correct with it. So I will say this, that their support is second to none, and they do everything they can to make sure that whatever the issue is fixed up. Now there's email management. Manage your emails easily through any web browser. Email management a breeze. Reset passwords. Manage spam, autoresponders, mail forwards, mail aliases, and many more. So it's got quite a, once you use it, look, I think we've all been using other mail programs for some time, and so once you get used to a particular mail program, it could be that that's the one that you want. But I've been using this one now for a while, and it's really quite an easy mail system to use. Now it's got the double DOS protection, which is the distributed denial of service, and that's a protection defense against external attacks, which can cause email outages. And so there's a lot of security that they've built in. The company that we're dealing with this have been in business for well over a decade, 1.5 decades actually. And I've been dealing with them for about that time. So they're an Australian-based company, but they're a global operator. And so they've got quite a bit of expertise in the mail and website application as well. Now you can do your POP3, IMAP, SMTP, so to make sure you can always access your email account from all devices anywhere in the world, and that's important to be able to go into your email from anywhere you happen to be. It has brute force protection, as a business email hosting provider, we handle all attacks against our email boxes. So they're really into security. It's important for them to have that in place. And of course, the reliable cloud network. Your email is hosted on a world-class cloud storage network, meaning you have access from anywhere in the world, ensuring continued operation of your email address. Now, we're going to be introducing towards the end of this something special that we're doing for the members. So if you just bear with me on this, we'll go through what the process is on applying. We call it a master email because we can, if you wish, link all your emails to the one account. So having a master email just simply means you can have everything going to one account, and you only ever need to log into one email if that's what you choose to do. So requesting the master email address, you need to have chosen 3 usernames to submit. Username 1 is your preferred, obviously. Username 2 is your next choice in case username 1 isn't available. And 3 is a choice in case 1 and 2 are not available. So once again, just applying for your name, it just means that it cuts down time, us having to go back and let someone know that they don't have that available, and to select another one. So we really need it, and it's going to get worse as we get on. So it's an area that we must be mindful of. Now the price for your personalized email is $20 USD, payable by PayPal, Bankwire, or Bitcoin. And with that, you'll be entered into a force-fed matrix with your first month paid. So there's no payment when you go into the matrix. And we're looking at a combination of team build and solo builds out there. Now, that's why it's important for me, at least, to get as many of the Next Level Africa members set in the matrix before we really go too wild with what's going on. And look, there's quite a bit of interest in this. In the last 24 hours, I've had a couple of different requests for some huge numbers, and there's meetings going on now to talk to them how to do it. I don't know if we can do some of the numbers they're talking about through this system. We may have to come up with a slightly different system to get them entered in, and it's really talking in the... So one of the things that happens with this business out there, you've heard me talking in huge numbers, and really because we are dealing with huge numbers, and when you're dealing with huge numbers, you attract huge numbers. So if I talk in the thousands and even in the millions, it's not beyond the realm of what we're dealing with here, because it's a very simple process, and people have been using email since day one. So it's not hard to understand what the email product is. Now, just to let you know how the whole system works, is all commissions are paid in NLA coin. Now, it's at the market maker's value at the time. Now, commissions are monthly, paid monthly. So therefore, you've got this scale that you're looking at now is a monthly scale. Now, I want you to imagine that you were, where are we? This is you right there. Oh, that's not you. We'll go somewhere else. That's you there. So obviously under you is your first line. Now on your first line, you would receive $4, or you've got 4 members on your first line. It's a 4x7 matrix. And from each member, you would get $5. Now remember, with 4 members on your first line, that would give you $20 a month. So you are now at no direct cost on the service, and you are heading towards being in credit. Now, that can build one at a time. So, during the course of the month or the time, you might get your first person, then your second, then your third. So they're all paid instantly. So you've got that credit there. Now, as you move on with that and we hit the second line, you've got 16 people on your second line. Now, from those 16 people, you receive $3 per person on your second line. And that once again can build up person by person till eventually, when you've got your 16 people there, you're getting $48 from line 2, which gives you a total of $68. Now, as you can see, you are now in credit on that. So we've made the payment structure heavily up the beginning of it so that people can get into credit fairly quickly. And then from there it goes into some pretty incredible figures. So from that, line 3, you've got 64 people. They would then pay you $2 each, which gives you $128, which is a total of $196. Once you start getting up to that sort of figure there, we advise to take another position in the matrix. It's up to you. You can do whatever you wish. But it's pretty obviously that having another business center while you're building this, you're coming down under the matrix and you're actually supporting the people that are supporting you. So it only makes sense to keep that moving along. So you've got continuity, retention of members out there. So you can see it's important to have a look at that, 2 parts, supporting other members and also building another business center for yourself, because whilst you're then supporting that new business center from your original up here, you then, when it starts to develop people under it then starts taking care of itself. And when it starts to do that, you might want to then take another. So you're constantly spreading yourself all over the matrix and coming up with some business centers out there. And as you can see, it moves on the 4th line. It's $1 for the 256 people on the 4th line. We're starting to get up to what's considered an income from that point. And then line 5 with 1,024 people on it, still $1 on that. We've kept the middle of it a little bit like that. And then, of course, we get down to the line 7, which we would have 16,384 people on that line. That's where the real payday comes into this. As you can see that in a month on that one line, if it's completed, and look, we're going to have people with a completed line very quickly in this, you will be on that one line, $32,700 odd. So that gives you a total in the matrix per month of $38,340. Now, because it's paid in crypto, we don't really know what that figure could be. I mean, that figure per year is $450,000 a year. But if the crypto goes up, and I think we can all agree that our coin has, then you will that'll be a different value. And some members may not sell that in the 12 months. One of the big things out there, and of course we'll be trying to educate people as much as we can, is staking coins. Staking coins becomes a major part of being involved in cryptocurrency. There are people living off just the staking component itself. So staking becomes rather important to understand it. So you may not be so anxious once you've got a position going there where you're accumulating coins. And this is really what this is all about, to help members accumulate coins. And because I do know that there are things moving forward with our exchanges that may not be obvious there now, but they certainly are. There's been whatever the banks have as hold-ups there, but they certainly want to move forward. They haven't come this far to stop it now. So now on the next slide, I'm going to be introducing something that I believe has never been done before by any company. And you can see there we're talking in numbers of 16,000, 21,000 people on your as a full matrix there. So I just want to let you have a look at what we've got in mind as a bonus. Now, what this means is this is a company guarantee. And we can do this because we have our own coin. And this is going to be built in a way that if we haven't got the exchange running to where we want it to be, we will build a mini exchange inside of this program so that people can cash out their coins if they wish and or obviously draw the coins. But now, if you're entered into the matrix, the company will pay the monthly auto ship for the members with no downline. In other words, if you're the last person to join this program and we launch and you're on the matrix down the bottom, if you don't have anybody underneath you in the first month, we will pay that from the company. So the retention of members will be quite significant. And so the company will cover the cost of the monthly auto ship up to 6 months. And we'll even have a look at it beyond that. But nevertheless, I believe it's all going to be covered in that time anyway. 6 months for free for members who do not have members under them. So in other words, if you were to receive one member underneath you, it's pretty obvious the company would pay the other $15. If you got no members, the company would pay 100% of it. Now this only applies to members who register and pay before we go live, because once we go live, we're just simply dealing with what we need to deal with in a live environment. We can't continue to do that because of the numbers we've got coming into it, but we're going to do it to make sure the members who get in early are rewarded for coming in early with positions in the matrix and also to cover their monthly auto ship. And as I said, I don't believe it's ever been a company's ever done that, where they're willing to pay the monthly auto ship for members, because it simply means you've got 100% member retention in the matrix, no members leaving the program. And that's important, because what can happen, you get this going, people go, who knows, a month or two and find that nothing's happened, so the next thing they want to go. And we want to try and do a fairly aggressive team build, and it's worked through Next Level Africa, because you finish up with a matrix that has absolutely no holes in it, and it's very hard to build a matrix with 20,000 people in it with no holes. It just doesn't happen unless you do an overall team build from the company down. But look, we do have some large groups that want to come in, and they're from the old school. They don't want to share their database. So we're looking at that, but we want them to be down towards, well, not the bottom of the matrix. I mean, it's one of those, we just want the NLA members in first before all that takes off. And because there could be some aggressive team bills and solo bills out there, members might be encouraged to join some of them. That's really how it is, spreading yourself over the entire matrix and helping people that want to do a solo build. And so once you see that happening, we've had people wanting to join them out there. So it's in the network marketing world, it's if you understand the strategy behind growing a business, then you can certainly run off all the things that we've picked up over the years. Because look, I've been networking now for 30 years. I've been in business for 50 years, and networking done correctly is an exciting thing to be. And just to add in, it's hard. It's really hard to not talk about some of our other things out there, but I don't want to answer any questions on them. But we've picked up momentum by picking up these banks along the way, and of course now we're on their time with it, and it's not comfortable, but nevertheless we've just completed signing a deal. You've heard me talk about it, about the medical system out there, and I have made mention that we are getting ready to start that, but that was only achievable by us being connected to the banks. The banks put these people who were some of the most influential medical people, scientists in the world, put them at ease by letting them know that they're fully behind us, and we are certainly going to, and this represents hundreds of billions of dollars a year that these contracts have been signed for. So we're hoping to see evidence of that start very, very shortly, but nevertheless the contracts have been signed, so it's just a matter of pushing the go button. And you may have seen the PET coin in the exchange. I'll throw this at you. It's currently now, look, I'm rounding this off, but it's under $2. Within the next, it could be hours, could be days, that you'll see that coin heading towards the $10 to $15 a coin, because that will be the coin that we'll use in the medical labs, the scientific world that we'll be joining. And our members will be amongst the very first. They'll have the opportunity to do something on this, and you can invest in labs and some of the greatest scientists of our time. All right, but look, that's where we're going with this. It's a protection for members who become part of this, so they haven't got to worry about finding their $20 a month. The company are going to look after that, and because we do want to make sure that we have rewarded members who have been with us for such a long time. Now, last week on the webinar, there was a bit of a mix-up. There was a crash on our website, and I'm not sure what happened to it, but they managed to get things fixed up. So we've set up a bit of a landing page, because look, we may run this program under emailplusincome.com, and that's what we're looking to do it. So it sort of divorces itself from and in that username there, or domain name, it just tells the story. It isn't Email Plus Income. Now, there is a registration form, so because we need that registration form, each particular application that you put in gives you a position in the matrix, and so we've had people getting themselves set now for quite a number of positions. So we're going to have people with quite a few business centers scattered over the matrix. Now the presentation that's the link to the presentation, Email Plus. It's a PDF, so you can have a look at that. We haven't loaded this particular one up onto it, but it will be very shortly. So therefore, we didn't want to load it up until we at least told the members of where we're going with it. So look, I hope that's helped. I hope you understand a little bit further on the email program. It has quite a few advantages with it out there, but it certainly is a program I feel that we're going to be rather happy with. And one of the other reasons I decided to go down this road, and I'm not going to bring any names out there, but we've had difficulty with trying to align ourselves with other companies on startup. There's been issues with that it's been totally out of our control with it. And so we just feel that we want a program here that we've got a bit more control over for the members. And remember this, that this is not going to have bank interference. The only thing is the bank will know about this is to have them in a comfortable position with the investors, knowing that there's a use, because the more usage we can get on the NLA coin, the better the coin will perform. So the bank will know about that. And the other thing is that we're not going to be using the likes of the South African program team, because look, they do have a lot of issues in South Africa and power outages. I mean, every now and again they've got power outages and just a lot of things that really can stop us from moving forward. They become the brakes and the accelerator over there. That's why at times you'll hear me, I love them, at times I hate them. But there's an area out there that's, when I say hate them, I mean, hate's a pretty strong word, but I just hate all of what we're getting from dealing with them. And even the people in South Africa know that as well. So we are setting this up in a way that we've got a bit more transparency and a little bit more continuity with our programming people out there. All right, look, I'm going to hand this back to Angelina. I do want to thank you all for attending, and I'll try to answer whatever questions you have on this. We're compiling a lot of information. There's a lot of information to come out from the exchanges and other programs, but we're just wanting to confirm it before we start announcing we've been caught before, and I don't want to just be hyping things up without any evidence that we are working on something that is definitely there. Okay, with that, I'll hand it back to Angelina. Thank you very much again for attending.
Are writing their questions in. Seeing the Skype room that it's been posted to, please make sure you send confirmation of your payment to the email address, email plus at, I'll get back to you on that and I'll post it in the room because we've got so many extensions now. It's email plus at something, I can't remember. Anyway, the important thing is, if you have paid for your emails, okay, and have not received the email login information, two things. One, I haven't got to it yet, and two, I haven't received confirmation of your payment. So that's really important, because they're not going to go out unless you confirm with me that you've paid. Don't send me a duplicate, please. If you've already submitted it and you're just waiting, please don't send me a duplicate. Another thing, please do not ask in the room, where's my email information? If you filled out the form, it's on the master sheet. You'll be gotten to. Okay, as Noel said, we've had hundreds of these, so it does take time. Another thing, we're not going to go into the master account and the NLA accounts, so we're not going to cover any questions and answers on that. Okay, so that being said, you can send in your questions. And actually, I can see, Marlene, you've asked a question. Yes, we'll be using our NLA wallet. Details on how Bitcoins will be accumulated in your account and then transferred to a wallet, whether it's your CEX or your desktop wallet, that'll all be explained. And Noel, I'm going to let you take up on the question that Jan has about coming into the matrix. Thanks, everyone.
Starting off with Jan, I brought the NLA email before the present actions about the related matrix started. Can I assume that I'm automatically entered into the matrix by timestamp? Yes. Anybody that's... Look, I'll tell you something out there. I don't know whether people just apply for things and then forget about it, but we have a number there, that have applied for an email, but they haven't completed, they haven't paid. So the timestamp starts when it's paid and Angelina has signed off on it, because there's a process that we need to go through there. So applying for it is the first stage, and then just paying for it so that you've secured your position in the matrix. But anyone that's paid has secured their position timestamping into the matrix. And so it's an area out there that's important, so that people can really understand what this is all about. And we are going to build a program, I believe, that will be second to none. You know, sometimes I get a little bit carried away with, I start thinking a little bit too far forward, and I don't want to do that on this. But I'm sort of around the block a little bit with this, so I've been comparing it to a few things out there, and I'm telling you now, we are going to have a program that is going to be a sought after program, because people do want to accumulate cryptocurrency with the backing we've got from the banks on it. Our coin is going to be a recognizable coin out there, so our whole exchange will be. So it's an area out there that I feel very confident about this. Tim said, awesome information, just waiting to receive my email, please. Yes. Look, there's been a couple of technical issues as well, and we've held up what's happening out there. I'm going to be straight to the point. We have our tech setting up passwords, and for some reason, one in, I don't know what it is, 1 in 20, it drops the password and changes it. So we've sent the thing off. So I want the technical people to have a look at this before we change it, or before we have it changed, because they might be able to get onto what's caused it, because it's important for us that they do make sure that they check on this. So anyway, if you haven't received, if you've tried to log in, if you're one of these people tried to log in, just bear with us. We want that to go to our technical people so they can have a look and find out why it's doing it. Marlene, yeah, look, what it is that we are going to make sure in this program that, and I don't believe this is going to be the case, but at worst case scenario, if the exchanges are not trading, we will trade inside of this program so that we can pay people the cash if they wish, and that will be at whatever the market maker's value on it is, or they can take their coins with whatever they feel comfortable with. But we are going to make sure that members are not just receiving coins if there's nothing happening on the exchange. And I don't believe that's going to be the case, but we will make sure that we're on top of all of that. How many email addresses have been purchased so far? Look, lots. We are getting to the stage where we if I started to enter that, it really doesn't matter how many it is, because it's going to change this time tomorrow and change the day after that. So all I'm getting at is that members don't have to worry about being stranded on the bottom of a matrix for any length of time. We'll make sure that you're in income before we close that door. So so don't worry. I mean, there's a bit of, programs are funny. If you were talking to somebody and you said, look, I want to show you this new program, and they said to you, well, how many people are in the program? You might say, well, there's only just me at the moment. I'm looking to recruit you. Well, I'll come back and tell me whenever when it's up and running, and I'll have another look at it. And then you might say to somebody, I want you to have a look at this program, to join this program. And they say, how many people are in the program? And the answer is, well, everyone in the world's in it now. There is no one left until tomorrow where people will be coming of age and away they go. So, or somewhere in between. So all I'm getting at is that there's always someone available to come into a program. And what you'll notice with this program, it lends itself for you to duplicate yourself again and have numerous business centers. So you might come in the first 3 or 4 lines in the original matrix we set up, and then finish up taking whatever amount of positions underneath that as well. Okay, James, yeah, look, they're working on the emails, but I see yours have been sorted out, so that's good. Okay, Bruno, what is the email support address as sent application 5 days ago? Are you saying you've sent an application for email? I'm not sure what you meant on that, and you haven't received. Look, Angelina is working through it. There's a lot coming in, Bernard, but if you've, it's in timestamp on the request for names, and they're done fairly quickly. But all of the rest of it, because there are 3 types of payments that are going on. We've got Bankwire, PayPal, and Bitcoin. So it's a matter of getting that particular side of it sorted out. So each one of them is a different and take a little bit longer time to actually complete that out there. But you'll certainly, if you put an application in, you'll certainly be dealt with. Jackie, can we also still use the form as previously stated in Skype room to request a personal Next Level Africa email? Please fill out the following form. Oh, okay. Well, that's the link got there. Put it onto a URL so that because what happens is that if we change the form and do things to it, it's then linked to change the form, but I believe that would be the same. So we've only got one form going there. That'll be the same link. Okay, the $20 a month coins. Let me just explain this one, and this is why you're going to see, and getting in now is going to be something that you might need to do. I'm going to round things off. Let's assume that everything's happening, the exchanges are trading, and the coin is valued, and rounding it off, at $600 a coin. All right, members that have earned coins through staking, being paid commissions, and managed to buy cheap coins. So some people are really, that one coin might owe them $1 or less because of being paid in coins, and we had people buy thousands of coins when we first allowed people to buy. So when that happens, we are going, if 30 accounts, that 30 accounts is going to $1, a couple of dollars more, whatever they're paid for their NLA coin. So we're going to have a lot of people coming into it, and we're going to have it in a way that people can assist other people coming in, because there'll be a lot of coins accumulated in this program. So don't underestimate what the NLA members can do collectively because of the amount of coins they've got. So people will be paying monthly with their coins. They'll get paid in coins, and if they can't liquidate those coins on the exchange, we will make sure that we have provision there for people to be able to do that. Okay, email address orders is the timestamp for entry in date of actual payment. Yes. So that's where it is. Once it's been paid, confirm, we then start timestamp. Our email, can we apply for more emails without the getting lost? There's no emails getting lost at all. There's just legal issues with the email with that, but that doesn't stop the thing being registered and time stamped. So people can apply for a number. Now, I won't go into the amount that people have applied for, but we've had people take lots and lots of positions because that understands what we're dealing with here, realize that it is quite a lucrative program, and it's all about accumulating the NLA and other crypto coins if we can work them with that. So anyway, Jason, is there a launch date for this email system? We have programmers working on it now, and I put it in high priority out there, Jason. So we had to work out, schedule what we wanted to do, and so it's been put in on high priority. So I'm hoping we've got, but look, we want to do it right. I don't want to introduce a program out there that's missing things. So we're building a lot of whistles and bells into this program so that it really is quite a good standalone program. Jackie, well, look, you'll be supplied with that as well. The PayPal name, bank details, so you'll be supplied with that when we when you apply for the email. Once again, there, Diana, I've answered that. We've got programmers working on it, so it's a high priority that we want to get it out there. We don't want any more delays like we have done with the likes of what's happening with the banks out there. So we want to avoid that. Build a solo component into it, but sending this out to people is probably something we can all do. Once decent paychecks coming through here now, you won't have to convince somebody because the product is so easy. It's a very easy product. And one of the reasons I like digital products is that you can store one as easy as you can store 1 million of them. So you don't need to build an extra room onto your house or be able to go out there and sell product. And look, it could be a lot of programs finish up with products that you don't want to use. Well, you may not want to use this. You may not want to use this product out there, but you don't have to use it. If it's an area out there building a business center, you can have as many as you like. You don't have to use them. It's like when Google had the dot system going in their email, you could have 1 billion email accounts, but you don't have to use them. Alex, where does the payment? Well, it'll be set up in the back office there, Alex. You'll nominate your where the coins are to be sent. If you're requesting coins inside of a coin address that you put in there. Okay, Luke's asked, where does the money come from the members purchasing coins in the mini exchange? Well, once again, people will be paying in there as well. So they'll be paying into the exchange and we'll be selling coins on that exchange. So we'll keep it, but I'm telling you now that won't be necessary because we are to having something major happening out there as well. So you'll see what happens with that. Jason, we pay $20 for our email now, and do we have to pay that per month once it starts? The answer to that is yes, but so do the people in your downline. That's how you earn income, by people paying. So if people didn't pay, it's easy to work out your income. It's called nothing. So yes, but you're paying from income coming in, and as I mentioned before, the company are going to cover anybody that doesn't have a downline. The company will cover that. Yes, look, Nigel, there will be. We'll be setting all of this up, the retrieval option. So we'll be setting this up in the program. We're dealing with getting the whole thing set up so it's a smooth flowing system within our system as well. So we're dealing with another hosting company, so we'll get all that sorted out. Andrew, where will the email launch from in the next login page? No. It won't. It's not going to be connected to Next Level Africa. It's going to be a standalone program, and we'll be doing quite a bit of advertising once we start to promote this. We've got things in place that we'll be doing quite a bit of advertising with it. So rest assured, we'll be making a very big noise when we launch this one. Yeah, Maxine said that thanks for the great webinar. Information was clear and precise. Even if one has to listen to the webinar again, and probably you do. We've had to go over things ourselves, and we are still bringing things together. And it's really input from the members that help us go further with this as well. So anything that you see there that, we're more than happy to deal with it, because we see this as a joint venture with everybody out there. So it's nice to have input into it. And so date of payment confirmation is, well, it is, yes. Once it's been paid, it's time stamped from that point. But what happens, it doesn't get moved to another file until Angelina receives the information, the confirmation it's been paid, because we want full records of that in-house so that we can go to without having to search through Bitcoins and banks and PayPal. So that's why Angelina wants to be on top of all of that. But from the date of payment is where it's timestamped. Yeah, will the guaranteed payments also be paid in well, that's how the program is going to work. It's going to work off cryptocurrency. So the answer is yes. Cecil's asked, is it one email address per form, or can you request more than one email address on a form? One per form on that with it, Cecil, because what happens is that each line of the matrix gets transferred over. It's like a big spreadsheet, and you can't count how many emails are on each line. So each line represents one email. So sending in a form with, the forms are very easy to send in, so people shouldn't have too much trouble sending the forms in, and but it's one form per email on there. So we are looking to do something a little bit different, because we've been approached by the possibility of a group coming in that have look, many thousands of people. So we want to have a closer look at that, and to make sure that we can accommodate them on how to come in, rather than to be doing forms. We don't have to come up with Excel spreadsheets for them. But nevertheless, members just wanting, when I say small numbers, we've had people take 50 accounts, and so you can do that on a form, and so it's one email per line on the form. Logging into your email, Nigel, is not something that you have to worry about. That'll be all handled internally. So logging into your email is a separate thing completely. If you are, because you might have many emails out there, so it's not important that if you can log into the email or not. Will the master email be visible in the crowdfunding? Andrew, look, if you want to put it in there, that's entirely up to you. So putting it in there is your call on that. So that's once again, it's a different deal to the crowdfunding and this particular program. So that's your call on where you want to put the email addresses out there. Yeah, will the monthly payments always be paid in cash or will be paid by NLA coins? The NLA coins is what we're aiming for. Yes. It's cryptocurrency. But once again, when people start joining this program, they've got to buy the coins from somewhere. People that don't have the coins, and we are dealing with a lot of people that don't have coins, so they've got to buy the coins, and we're encouraging them to buy the coins from the exchange. So just us being involved in doing this is going to create volume through the exchange, simply because of what's out there. And if anyone's concerned about the low price coins out there, the bank, it's a process. It goes, once they check it, it goes to a programmer, one of their technical people, that then takes the, there was a lot of arguments there last week because it's disconnecting wallets from the account. And so then our famous Jamie has to come into it to reconnect the wallets up. So there's a bit of a shouting match going on with that. So it's a bit of a process, but let me tell you that everyone that's put these coins on, eventually they get banned. And the ones that were initially banned are still banned now. They've got to apply to be reinstated. And then from that, Jamie has to reconnect the wallets, and nobody wants to be waiting on Jamie. I'll tell you now, nobody wants to be waiting on that. Chuck, if we open an account, I want to change the owner's name to someone else, will we be able to make the change ourselves? You're talking about the you can look, you can sign accounts over to other people. I'm not sure where you're going with that exactly, Chuck, but you can sign accounts over to other people if that's what you want to do. I mean, that's something that you can do yourself thereby. So that's all it is. Archie, will the transfer fee of one coin still stand every time a payment is made? I'm not sure where you're coming from with that. There is an issue with the exchange where they've got one coin for transferring coins out of there, but that needs to be rectified. That's something that we don't want that on there, and we asked them to take it down. They did before, but it reappeared. So if that's what you're talking about there with it, Archie, there is no one coin for any transfer. So I just thought I'd add that in there. Nigel, NLA coins are in an exchange from which coins cannot be withdrawn for cash at present. Well, they can. They can. People are selling coins in there whilst they're not selling at the price that we'd obviously like, but the exchange is trading, believe you me, and you can withdraw cash from the exchange. So, I mean, they just paid out $40,000 to members for payments in there, so it's definitely Yeah, the exchange fee, Archie, look, we're working on that. That's something that we don't know why they're doing that. I've applied to them to have a change, but it's a slow process for the banks to do anything. Oh, okay, Andrew's saying that the Explorer tab in Coin Exchange is giving the 404 error message. Thanks for that, Andrew. I'll get them to check it out. Look, we have hit the top of the hour, and as you can see, that's why we didn't do other questions on things there, because it can run into quite a bit of time. So we're making sure that we cover a lot of this that's going on out there. So look, with that, I'm going to hand this back to Angelina, and I do want to thank everybody for turning up to this this meeting. So just one more question. How is trading happening in the exchange when NLA coin sales are not happening yet? Well, they are. they are. If you look in the history on the exchange, you'll see that there's coins that have been traded for Bitcoin, for Duck, the whole thing there. But once again, there's something major about to happen. So I'll talk about that another time. Thank you very much, everyone, for turning up. I'll hand it back to Angelina. I hope I've covered everything there with it. And as I said, this is the program that you're going to really enjoy. It's a fun program, and I like a bit of fun in programs as well, and there's nothing hard about it. Thanks, everybody, again for turning up.
Please remember that this webinar has been recorded. Please allow for at least 48 hours to have the recording out and posted. I've posted the email to send your confirmation of payment to. Again, if you've already sent it, don't resend it, please. Okay. And that's it for now, and we will be continuing to post information in our Skype rooms. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.